Welcome back to the channel. Today we are breaking down the promo for the finale of Yellowjackets. There is quite a lot going on in this little trailer that we got, so there's a lot to talk about. But before we get started, I do just want to say a quick thank you for all of the well wishes. I was super sick the past week, and you guys were being very kind in the comments, hoping that I get better soon, and luckily I am feeling much better, so we got a lot of work to do before this Friday with the new episode. So let's get into it. So the promo opens up with a quick shot of someone touching the eye on the tree. I tried to examine the rest of the video to see if we can tell who is wearing these gloves, but I can't figure it out, so I don't know who this is, but maybe it's Ty. And then we get a quick shot of someone eating flesh. This looks like Lottie to me. And then we get a couple of quick shots that are so quick, if you blink, you miss them. And they also have kind of like a glitch over them, so they're kind of hard to make out. But the first one is Pit Girl strung up, which we haven't seen since episode 1 of the whole series. And then we get a quick flash of 3 people. It's kind of impossible to tell who it is, but on the left I think is maybe Van, because it does look like it could be red hair. And then I think the middle person is whoever the butcher will end up being. I think this person in the middle is wearing the pink jacket, which we see Shauna wear in the episode where they force-fed Ben, which we do see again later in this promo. So it could be Shauna, but I think it also could be Natalie. And then we get this shot of someone who looks like they're wearing a baseball cap as a mask, like they've cut slots for the eyes. And I'm just gonna assume that this is Melissa because we know she's always wearing hats, even 25 years later. And then we can see all the girls, even Hannah, standing around, and it looks like Shauna is leading in this moment. They're all facing her, and then Shauna says we have to show the wilderness our respect. And Lottie says we have to have another hunt. I mean, as we know, they are gearing up for the whole Pit Girl scene. I am so excited to see this play out this coming Friday. And then we see adult Ty has a knife and is looking down. Maybe she's standing over someone who she's trying to kill, which we do get some more shots of this later on in the promo. And then we get a shot of adult Shauna like hysterically crying. And then Ty is saying she's gonna end up being the last one standing. And it does look like she could be in the coffee shop where she first met up with Shauna in season 1. Maybe Shauna is the one she's talking to right now, since this seems to be their spot. Maybe she's talking about Melissa, since we know Melissa got away in the last episode. And then we can see Van shuffling the deck of cards, looking nervous, and she says, "You're asking me to pick who dies." She's definitely talking to Ty here, since in the last episode, Ty said to her, "Good thing you've been practicing with the cards." And I have seen some fans wondering if Van chose who died in the past. Like if she was always rigging the cards, but I don't think so. I think she recently started practicing with the cards because her and Ty knew they would most likely be spending another winter in the wilderness. And to ensure their survival, she's been practicing rigging the cards so that neither of them gets picked for the hunt. This is obviously a lot of pressure on Van, and I do feel bad for her, but also it's low-key fucked up and unfair to everyone else. But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. I'd probably do the same thing. And then we see the girls standing around getting ready to draw cards, and we see someone actually draw a card who I think is Misty. And then we can see them all running for the hunt. And then adult Shauna goes to see Misty at her house because she probably wants something from her as usual. And then we see adult Lottie again, finally. She died in episode 4, I believe, so we have not seen Simone Kessel all season. Half the season. So we see Lottie in the place where she died, but also where she had the vision in season 2, when she was getting baptized by Laura Lee. It's the same white gown, the wet hair, candles, walking up the stairs, and we hear her voice saying, "It brought you to me." I'm assuming we are finally going to see how her death played out, who was there, who was possibly responsible. I know a lot of people think that it could be Callie, and she is definitely on my suspect list. There is another shot of Callie in this promo that has me thinking she could have been involved. Then we see someone grabbing an axe, presumably for the hunt, and we also see Shauna howling. So this is probably right before they start running, chasing after whoever is going to die, or right in the middle of them hunting them down. Shauna is going to be howling. And then we get this shot, and the one on the right looks like Hannah, and again we see the person in the pink jacket, which I'm thinking is Natalie, but it's hard to tell. But I've shared my theory with you guys how I think Natalie is going to be the butcher for Pit Girl, and we know the butcher wears the pink jacket. We saw this in episode 1 of the whole series. And with this pink jacket, we did see Shauna wear it previously, but I think her and Natalie swap roles as leader and butcher. And then we see adult Ty looking very upset and then stabbing someone on the ground very aggressively. I don't know, do we think that this could be Melissa? Is Ty going to get revenge on her for killing Van, the love of her life? Or do we think it's someone else? And if so, who could it be? And then we see someone with the tape. I'm assuming it's Shauna because we know she still has to read the letter from Melissa that Callie withheld from her. In the season 3 trailer, we saw a shot of Shauna reading the letter, so we know it's got to happen in the final episode. And then Shauna opens Callie's closet and all of her clothes are gone. So I'm assuming her and Jeff decided to leave. As they should, honestly. Shauna is kind of ruining their lives. And then we get this interesting shot of Callie looking very distraught and crying, talking to Jeff. And then we see Jeff, who is also looking upset. What if this is Callie confessing to Jeff that she went to see Lottie in the city that day, the day that she died, and Callie might have had something to do with her death? And maybe that's actually the reason that they pack up their things and leave, to protect Callie from getting in trouble for Lottie's death. I don't know, what do you guys think? Leave a comment down below. And then we see Van upset and crying into Ty's arms. She's probably upset for having to choose who would die. And then we see a couple more people eating flesh. The first one, I'm not sure who it is. It looks like it could be Natalie, or even kind of looks like Mari to me. But if it is Mari, that would mean she's not Pit Girl. And I know a lot of people think that Mari will be Pit Girl, but I don't know. I do think Pit Girl is going to be Hannah. And then the second person here looks like Travis to me. Then we get this shot of Lottie, and then we see the Antler Queen. And they both seem to be doing the same hand motion. And Antler Queen here looks like they have super long, scary looking fingers. So I don't know. Now I'm kind of thinking Antler Queen is just like a figment of Lottie's imagination. We know she's seen things plenty of times before, but what if Antler Queen isn't actually one of the girls like we all thought it would be, but rather just a personification of the wilderness? You know, we've been wondering since season 1, who the hell is Antler Queen gonna be? But what if it's no one? And that is our entire promo for the finale that comes out in just a few days. Honestly, this looks wild. I'm so hyped for this episode. I cannot wait. Let me know if you have any last minute predictions, like who will die, who's Pit Girl, who's Antler Queen. I did a theory video weeks ago about, you know, I think Pit Girl is Hannah, and I was thinking Shauna was gonna be Antler Queen, but I don't know. Now I'm kind of thinking it's no one. All I know is we better get some answers, and it also better end with Rescue arriving. I mean, we know that we are getting very close to Rescue, and they gotta end the season with that. I mean, I think that's the perfect cliffhanger to leave us all wanting more for season 4. But what do you guys think? What did you think of this promo? Do you have any thoughts and theories? Please share them with me. Leave a comment down below. Also, if you haven't seen it yet, definitely go check out my episode 9 breakdown and let me know your thoughts over there. But thank you so much for tuning into another video. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on future posts. Please also go follow me over on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. And I will see you guys next time.